Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is Tunde Disu once again. How are you today? I believe your day has been glorious, wonderful. I'm sure you've had a great time. Thank you so much for putting this time aside again for us to meet, sharpen one another, help one another become better in the process. As we said at the beginning, this is a journey of discovery. Welcome, Femi Jobi. Thank you. This journey, I don't know about you. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm learning. I'm being stretched. I'm being encouraged. I'm being challenged. I'm improving every week. I'm having fun. I'm sure you are having fun too. Taufik, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. All the way from Nigeria. Thank you, Taufik. It's an honor to have you with us this evening. This evening is going to be a wonderful time. It's another great topic that we'll be looking at in the process of this journey that we are on. My Uncle Joe Awolowo, thank you, sir. It's an honor to have you. I appreciate you. God bless you real good. Thank you, sir. It is a great thing to have this time, especially as men, for us to just look at, okay, this is how far we've come. The journey ahead is still far. What can we improve on what we've done so far to take us to that next level, to take us to that next place? Thank you, Sheyi. Nice to have you with us. So these are some of the things that we've been looking at. Imagine, we're already 7 weeks. This is our 7th week on this journey. And I know it has been a wonderful session for me, and I'm sure for you, especially judging from the feedbacks, from the comments, from the questions that people are asking and sharing. I mean, it's a great honor to have all of you. I can't say enough of how much this has been. So I want to thank you. Brother Gibson, thank you for joining us too. Thank you. Good evening, sir. How was your journey? I'm sure today, the week has been a blessed week for all of us. And while we're just warming up, before we hit the road running, as it were, I just want to quickly mention one or two things. One of the things that we're planning along this journey, along this path that we've all been traveling, is at some point in very near future, we're going to have a session where we will come together as men into a venue where we can pray for one another, where we can hold hands, physically hold hands, and lift one another up in prayers and speak life, speak wholeness, speak prosperity, speak blessings into one another's lives. And also it will be a session for us to do like questions and answers of maybe some of the topics that we have covered, and also some new ones that we are yet to cover. And if there's any specific thing that you want to share, you want to ask questions, I'm sure that we will have enough wisdom in the room to tackle those questions. So I am looking so much forward to that, and the dates and the venue will be announced in due course. Thank you, JB, for joining us. Thank you. It's great to have you. Well, for those of us that are on, let me also ask you to please go and share this program tonight. Click the share button at the bottom of your screen, and let's help one another, especially looking at the topic that we'll be talking about tonight. It is going to be a great help to a lot of people. So please hit the share button and let's go and share it so that others can benefit from it. Amen. Well, gentlemen, and for the ladies that are joining us too, you're very welcome. Like I said, this is our week 7. The 7th week. The 7th week. Imagine. Thank you, Adelaja, for sharing this. The 7th week. And the topic that we're looking at tonight, I know you've seen it. You've all had you've had a glimpse into what we'll be talking about tonight, and I'm sure, Bro Bayo, thank you so much. Bayo Daniels, thank you for joining us. I'm sure you'll be wondering, some questions will be going on in your head. What is it about serving? What are we going to see tonight? I'm glad you asked the question, because it's an area that has almost become a taboo, especially among men, to say I'm serving. And I'm sure by the time we finish tonight, you will pick up your coat of serving wherever you've hung it and dust it up and put it back on, because I'm sure you'll be blessed. Thank you so much, all of you. So the topic tonight is become a better man. Become a better man, serve. Become a better man, serve. Now, when you hear the word serve, what comes up in your heart? What do you think about? Because the word serve is a verb. For those of us that did grammar, verb is serve rather is a verb. It's a doing word. It's a commanding word. It's an instructive word. It's something that requires action from you or from the person that is being addressed. So when you hear serve, it simply means get to work. Do something. To serve means to perform duties or services, especially for another person or for another organization. Thank you, Monica, for joining us. So when you hear serve, it means to work for, to be in service of, to perform a duty, to be employed by someone or by something or by somehow, and to have a job with something or with someone. The word serve requires action from you. It requires an action from the hearer. And serving simply means preferring another person, especially over you. Because for those of us that did economics in O levels and GCSE and secondary school and grammar school and all of that, I'm sure we've all come across the term opportunity cost. You see, serving it's synonymous to opportunity cost. Because for you to serve someone or serve something or an organization, you have to give up something else. See, opportunity cost, the principle of opportunity cost is that you forego a benefit for the sake of another one. It's a decision to say, instead of me doing this, I will do that. It's the same thing with serving. You have to say, instead of me doing that, instead of me going to sleep, instead of me going to watch football, instead of me spending time mowing my lawn, I will spend that time at the old people's home to serve them. Thanks, Charles. Thanks, Bukola, for joining us. Serving it makes you have to decide to serve. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Lekon. You have to decide to serve. It's a decision that you have to make. And that decision is usually balanced against something else. Against, okay, what could I be doing with my time, with myself at this point in time? But instead of doing it, I am laying that aside so that I can serve. And that is why I said serving is synonymous to opportunity cost. See, one of the differences between serving and being obligated is that serving is a decision that you make. You make a decision to serve. But obligation is that somebody has made that decision and all you do is respond to it. And that's the difference between the two. In some instances, however, both serving and obligation will almost work together. I'll give you an example. People in the military, the men and women in the military, they want to serve, but yet they have an obligation. The obligation is once you enlist in the military, you have made a decision to say, do you know what? I am going to defend not myself. I am going to defend not my person. I'm going to defend the sovereignty of my nation. I'm going to defend the integrity of my flag. I'm going to defend the liberty, the independence of my country. Now, that is the obligation part of it. But the serving part of it is where you now have men and women on the battlefield. And that is why when we have some of them that fell in the battlefield, you hear people say they paid the ultimate sacrifice. They put their lives on the line so that you and I can sleep well at night. And that is, in some instances, when serving an obligation, when they lock horns together. And one of the things I do, and if you are like me, I'm sure I'm advising, or rather I'm recommending you should do this. If you log on to YouTube and search for the homecoming of American soldiers or military personnel in America, every time I have stopped to just watch some of those clips, it really just getting to me, because you get to have a glimpse into the sacrifice that these men and women are making. But more than that, that their families, their children, their wives, their husbands, their parents, their aunties and uncles, how much goes into serving in the military. Men and women in uniform, we honor you, and God bless you richly. Serving is an act of love. Serving is an act of love. How? You might say, well, what do you mean by that? Jesus talking, he said in John 15, verse 13, John chapter 15, the Gospel of John chapter 15, verse 3, Jesus said, there is no greater love than a man lay down his life for his friend. Thank you, sir, Mr. Abimbola, for joining us. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Jesus said there is no greater love than for a man to lay down his life for his friends. What is he saying? He is saying the ultimate way I can serve, the ultimate way anybody can serve is to put his line or to put his life or her life on the line for the sake of another. And in this case, he said his friend. It could be your family, it could be your country, it could be your neighborhood, it could even be a stranger, somebody you don't know at all. But the fact that you choose to stand in the gap, you are serving that person. Also, in 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. It's interesting. The Bible says you can't claim to love God when you don't love the man standing next to you, the man you can touch, the wife that you can touch, your children, your neighbors. You can't say you love God and not love the people around you. In fact, the Bible said you are a liar. But you see, to love is to serve. To love is to serve. Serving puts a demand on you. Serving puts a demand on your time, on your person, on your resources. Because you can't serve just with the mouth, just by the word of mouth. Serving puts a demand on you. Thank you, Joby, for joining us. Serving also is a matter of the heart. it is a matter of the heart. You see, this is my belief, this is my conviction. There's no way you can serve without your heart being involved. In fact, if you serve outside of your heart, it will just be, it will be, you're just wasting your time and deceiving people. If it's not from the heart, it will lack the quality. And more importantly, it will not last the test of time. So for you to serve, it has to come from your heart. Another thing serving will do, or serving does, is it helps you to take your eyes off yourself. The society, the community, the world that we live in today is very big on me, myself, and I. But when you make a decision to serve, it takes your eyes off you and puts it on the person or the organization or the group that you have elected to serve. So I don't know. I don't know if you're following this my foundation, because all this we're just building foundation. Brother Bayo Daniel says, serving puts a demand on you. It's a matter of the heart. Service which is not from the heart will not stand the test of time. Yes, sir. It will not stand the test of time. Now, because this program is specifically set up for men, let me address us men. Your service as a man, your service must start from the home front. Yes, it must start from the home front. In fact, I will go as far as saying, don't export it if it's not working at home. Don't export it if it's not working at home. But the funny thing is, that's what we do, men. We see other women outside, we compliment them, we honor them, we respect them, we reverence them, we listen to them. And yet, at home is a different story. If you're in that position, let your charity, thank you, sir, let your charity begin. Let it start from your home front. Jesus turned around one day, he said to his disciples, who do people say I am? What are people saying about me? And everybody were giving different answers. Then he turned around and said to the people that eat from the same plate, walk on the same journey with him, he said, so who do you say I am? Because if it's not working at home, don't ship it out. As men, we must serve at home. And when I say serve at home, I'm not just saying do something. Yeah, it's good to do extraordinary things for our families and all of that. But I'm saying little things like, why don't you ask your wife to take the evening off? I'll do the cooking, or I'll do the washing up, or I'll hoover the house, or I will take the kids out. Whatever it is, especially for our wives, let's give them every now and again a good break. Give them something to, every now and again, give them something to just have their me time. It's a way of serving. Please, gentlemen, if you have not been doing that, we're all learning, including myself. If we have not been doing that, this is an opportunity for us to go and pick that up. In fact, it will be one of the tasks that we'll have at the end of tonight's program. So charity must start at home. Lay down your life for your wife. That's what the Bible says. It said, the man must love his wife the way Christ loved the church, how he died. So gentlemen, die. Chibuzo, thank you. Charles, thank you. Sir, thank you, sir. Die, die, die. Study your wife so that you can, the Bible says, you live with her with understanding. You will not understand her until you study her. Study her, get to know her, honor her, esteem her, defend her, do whatever it takes to to let your wife, the love of your life, serve her. Serve her. I think I've made that point, and I'll leave it there. So please, gentlemen, if you have not been doing it, let's go and pick it up. It's an honorable thing to serve. It's an honorable thing to serve, especially our wives and our children. So let's look deeper into this topic of tonight. This, as you can see, I'm excited because serving is my forte. It's something that I love doing. If you know me, you will know that serving I'm big on serving. I'm so big on it, I wrote a book on it, The Privilege, Elisha Project, The Privilege of Serving Leaders. So that's how big this is to me. This is how big. So, who is a servant? Who is a servant? I'm asking, please, who is a servant? Thank you, Shola. Who is a servant? Who is a servant? I remember we had a minister of information once in Nigeria called Jerry Ghana, and he said, if you're a teacher, teach. If you're a farmer, farm. If you're a driver, drive. So if you're a servant, serve. So who is a servant? A servant is someone that serves. I know we've attached some negative, maybe low-level caliber meaning to the word servant, but the truth is that's not correct. That is very, very incorrect. It's very incorrect. So what is serving? Serving is using your divine endowment. It's using your God-given talent, your skills, your resources, your ability, your knowledge, your contact to make things better for somebody else. That's what serving is all about. It's as simple as that. Do it for somebody else. That is what serving is. And you know the funny thing, or the good thing is, when you serve, when you use your talent, when you use your skill, your resources, when you use the God-given ability in you, on you, to make life better, easier, and joyful for somebody else, those skills, they don't diminish. The talent will not go down. The energy, the resources will not diminish. Instead, it will increase. It will increase. I know that goes against the way our brain works, that if you use what you have, then it will reduce. No, it doesn't. If you use your talent, if you use your skill, if you use your resources to help somebody, the funny thing is, it increases. It does increase. It increases. It's good to serve. It is so good to serve. Let me, and the thing with serving is this. It is not for you to determine what you are. It is for the person you are serving to identify or to give meaning to who you are and what you are. Let me explain with this example. There is this man who has a male servant in his house. And one day, he said to the servant, I think the garden needs attention. Can you look into it? So the guy went out into the garden and he started tilling and removing the weeds and turning the soil over just to make the garden look beautiful. A neighbor was passing by and saw. He said, "Oh, good morning." He said, "Good morning." He said, So who are you? I don't think I've seen you in this house before. He said, "Oh, good morning, sir. I am the gardener." Oh, the man said, "Oh, you're the gardener. Nice to see you." And off he went. Few days later, the boss called this man and said, "I need to travel. Can you take me to the airport?" Took the boss to the airport. While he was there, this same neighbor saw him and said, "Oh, that's the gardener." He said, "No, sir, I am the driver." So the man went. While the boss was away, he called and he said, "Oh, can you tell Mr. Johnson there's a check coming through in the post? Tell him to take it to the bank and bank it for me." He met this guy again in the bank, and the man said, "Oh, the gardener, the driver, so what are you today?" He said, "I'm the banker." What is the point I'm trying to make? The point is, the service that you are rendering part-time determines who you are and what you are at that time. And so the title servant should not be seen as a dirty word or as something to say, "Oh, you are less." No, it connotes what you are doing part-time. Part-time. I remember the story in Matthew chapter 21 from verse 28 to 31. Matthew 21 verse 28 to 31. Jesus was giving a parable, and he talked about a man who has two sons. And he went to the first son and said, "I need you to go to the farm and do something for me." And the guy said, "Sorry, I can't do it." So he went to the second one. He said, "Please, I need you to go to the farm and do something for me." The guy said, "Oh, no problem, Dad. I'll get on to it." By the close of business, the guy who said, "I can't do it," changed his mind and went and did the job. The guy who said, "Oh, don't worry, Dad, consider it done," he never did it. He never even went to the farm. And Jesus was asking, of these two people, who actually served their father? And the disciples said, "It's the one that went." So what is the point? What am I trying to say here? Serving is not about what you say. Serving is about what you do. Words are cheap. It's not about what you say, "Oh, I'll do this and I'll do that." No, it is about what exactly you have done or you are doing that determines or that qualifies you as serving. So we're going to look at how to serve. How to serve. How to serve. If you have not shared this program tonight, please go ahead and share it. Go ahead and share it, because we're digging deep now, and I'm sure this is going to be a blessing to a lot of people. And please, let me hear back from you. Say something, type something. Let me know you this is helping you. At least you are on this journey with me. Dickin, thank you. Dickin Sanjo, thank you for joining us. Yes, words are cheap. Until you start doing, you're not. There's nothing to show for your service. How to serve? What determines? How do you measure? I think that's more. How do you measure the quality of your service? How is service measured? What are the parameters that must be fulfilled? What are the requirements that must be met for your service to be considered as good service? And if you look, when I posted this on Facebook, I said we're going to be looking at maps. Maps. Now, I'm not talking of maps with north, south, east, and west. No. MAPS is an acronym for what the way to measure the quality of your service. MAAPS. Mike Alpha Alpha Papa Sierra. MAPS. The yardstick for measuring the quality of your service is MAPS. What is the meaning of MAPS? MAPS. M is for motive. What is the motive behind the service that you are rendering? What is the motive? What is the driving force behind your serving, behind the service that you are rendering? Paul, thank you for joining us. What is the motive behind your service? Why are you doing what you are doing? Remember, there's something called eye service. That is, you do it because the boss is around, or the owner of the task is around, and you're trying to impress the person. Remember, we said earlier on, it's not what you say, it's exactly what you do that qualifies your service. But here we're digging deep now to say, it's not just what you are doing or what you did, it is why are you doing, or why have you done what you did? Because the motive is crucial. The motive is crucial. Why are you? Is it to just get the accolades and the praise of the one you're serving, or because, like I said at the beginning, it is from your heart? Thank you, Foma. Is it from your heart? Why are you doing what you're doing? Are you doing an eye service? Or are you doing it so that others can see? Are you showing off? Is it a show off for you to say, oh, look at him, oh, look at her, oh, look at them? Is that why you're doing what you're doing? MAPS. The first M there stands for motive. Why are you doing what you are doing? Because if the motive is wrong, you can put your head down, raise your two legs, and spread wide your arms. Your service is still not, it's not measuring, it's not reckoning on the weight of quality as far as service is concerned. So the first thing is, what is this? What is the motive? Brad Gibson said, we serve to fulfill a need. Yes, sir. The motive behind your service, what is it? So that's the first leg of measuring the quality of your service, is the motive. The second leg is A, which stands for attitude. 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 What attitude were you displaying? What was your body language? How did you carry out the assignment or the task? How did you do it? Attitude. With what attitude? Remember the story that we related to earlier on about those two sons. The second one said, oh, don't worry, Dad, consider it done. And yet he didn't do it. The attitude was wrong. The attitude was wrong. Do you feel, oh, this is below me? I mean, look, they hold me. Say, for instance, you are asked to, say in a church, you're asked to go and serve in the children's church, to look after the children. And you're like, are you for real? I'm the managing director of XYZ Unlimited, and you want me to go and serve in the I mean, come on, look at me. That is a wrong attitude. Even if you then go there and the children are climbing all over you, your attitude from the onset has disqualified you from the benefit and the reward of that service. So the first one we said was motive. The second one is attitude. The third quality or yardstick for measuring the quality of your service is, has it been done acceptably? Has it been done acceptably? What do I mean by that? Have you carried out the task, the requirement, the assignment? Has it been done as if the owner did it himself or herself? Because until you hit that bar, until you meet that requirement, the owner of the task is going to go back and do it all over again. Has it been done as instructed, as expected, as if the owner did it himself or herself? Thank you, Linda, for joining us. I'll give you an example. My wife likes a nice cup of tea, and I make a very good cup of tea. But say, for instance, my wife says, oh, Tunde, please, can you make me a cup of tea? I know the way she likes her tea. If I go to the kitchen and just put one on top of the other, shake it all together, and shove it in front of her. Now, out of respect and honor, she'll probably drink the tea. But if it's not to the quality that she's expecting, if it's not to the level that she's used to. Just because she's accepted the cup of tea from me doesn't mean my service has been accepted. So in order for your service to be accepted, it has to meet the requirement, the expectation of the one you are serving. So, is your service done to an acceptable level? Has it been done as instructed? Has it been done to the level that is expected? Number 4, has it been done profitably? Has it been done profitably? What do I mean by that? The service that you have just rendered, has it added any value to the beneficiary? Has it added any value to the beneficiary? Because until it adds value, it is not profitable. It's an effort in futility. Until it adds value to the recipient, to the beneficiary, to the person you are serving, it's not profitable. The Bible says, what will it profit a man to gain the whole world and then lose it? So what will it profit you to spend the whole day working on something and yet it's of no benefit to the people that you're doing it for? So until your service is done to a profitable level, it's no service. It's no service. And the last letter there, S, has your service been done successfully? Has it been done successfully? What do I mean by being successfully? How does it make you feel? You yourself, you that are rendering the service, how does it make you feel? Does it make you want to pull your hairs out? Or does it light a glow on the inside of you? There's an inner joy about this service that you can't explain, you can't put your hands on it, but somewhere on the inside you just feel like this is the best thing. It puts a smile on your face. It puts a song in your mouth. It puts a spring on your steps. You feel like, oh boy, look at me. I mean, I'm so glad to have served. Until it gives you that feedback, not from anybody else, but from yourself to yourself, your service has not been done successfully. It has not been done successfully. So every time you are about to render a service, either at home, at work, at play, in the church, in the community, in the society, wherever you find yourself, and you have the opportunity to render a service, ask yourself, tick each of these boxes against that service quickly in your head. What is the motive behind what I'm doing? With what attitude am I doing it? Have I done it to an acceptable level? Has it been profitable? Has it added value to the recipient? How does it make me feel? Because until I feel good about it, it's not successful. It is not successful until I feel good about the service that I've just rendered or that I'm rendering. So that is what MAPS is for. M is for motive. A is for attitude. A is for acceptable. P is for profitable. And S is for successful. If this is helping you, tell me something. Can you see how this is making you a better person already? Because now you have to think and hold your handbrake and say, whoa, before I start this, let me do my checks. The Bible talks about judge yourself so that you will not be judged. Do your own checkpoints. Oh, okay. My motive there is a bit wobbly. Let me go and correct that. Quickly, let's move on. Wow. I don't know about you, I'm enjoying this. Please tell me if this is helping you, if this is blessing you, if this is adding something to you. I need you to let me know so that I can see, I can know that my service is my service. Is it acceptable? Is it profitable? Because from where I'm sitting here, ladies and gentlemen, it's successful. I feel good about it. I'm enjoying doing this. I'm enjoying doing this. So if it's adding value to you, just type something, say something. Thank you, Amelia Sintim. Thank you, Buki. Thank you. Quickly, let's look at what are the qualities of a good servant. What are the qualities of a good servant? And by the way, some of these that we're looking at tonight is in this book. It's in this book. So if you haven't got a copy of this, if you want to really milk the program or enjoy more of this program tonight, get a copy of the book, Elisha Project, The Privilege of Serving Leaders. It would bless you. Every time I have opened it, even though I wrote it, but every time I have looked at it, I am blessed. Every time I learn something new, every time I see something new. So if you haven't got a copy, let me encourage you to go and get your copy. So quickly, let's look at the qualities of a good servant. The qualities of a good servant. The number one quality of a good servant is that a good servant is loyal and dedicated. He's loyal and is dedicated. He's loyal and dedicated. The Oxford Dictionary defines loyalty as a strong feeling of support or allegiance. A strong feeling of support and allegiance. What does it mean, therefore? A good servant has a very strong feeling of support to the one he or she is serving. And there's an allegiance, that a devotion, a commitment that they give to the one that they are serving. So the first quality of a good servant is that he must be loyal and he must be dedicated. And one of the practical ways of demonstrating your loyalty and your dedication to your service and to the one you're serving is what I call nail your flag to the mast. Nail your flag to the mast. Let everybody around you and about you know that you are loyal and you are dedicated both to what you are, the service you are doing, and to the person you are serving. The reason that is crucial is this. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. If people can just deduce that what you are doing is eye service, they will trip you up. Deliberately or accidentally, they will trip you up. And in most cases, speaking from experience, in most cases, people like that are tripped off just before they harvest for their service. Because there is a vacuum of loyalty and dedication. When there is a vacuum of loyalty and dedication, the person, the servant, is easily tripped up. You remember the story of Gehazi with Elijah. He had served Elijah for so long, but yet there is an element of disloyalty in him, and it caused both him and his whole lineage to be leper. They inherited leprosy. The benefit that Elisha, the anointing, the blessing that Elisha walked in was for Gehazi, but he messed up because of lack of loyalty to his master. To his master. See, people will test you. Circumstances will challenge you. Loyalty is not tested until you are faced with a situation where you can easily get away with a cheap answer. You can easily cut corners and make your way. But yet, even though that avenue is there, even though that opportunity presents itself, you still choose to remain steadfast, to remain loyal, to remain committed and dedicated to your service and the one you are serving. Now that is loyalty. Now that is dedication. Hey, Paul, thanks for joining. Thank you. So your level of dedication is not proven, it's not tested. It's not confirmed until you are tested, until you are given an option to get away cheaply and you choose to remain loyal and steadfast. Elijah turned around and he said to Elisha, "You stay here. God has told me to go forward." Elisha said, "On your bike. Wherever you go, I am there with you." 3 times, Elijah tried to stop him, but Elisha's commitment, loyalty, and dedication would not allow it. Thank you, Dr. Ologunbi. Thank you, Sarah, for joining us. So your level of loyalty, or rather a good servant, must have loyalty and dedication to the one to whom they are serving and what they are serving. Number 2 quality of a good servant is that a good servant must be faithful. A good servant must be faithful. What is faithfulness? Faithfulness is being diligent, being responsible, and accountable with something in your possession that belongs to somebody else. I'll say that again. Faithfulness is being diligent, being responsible, and being accountable with something in your possession that belongs to somebody else. How come every time you borrow something, you return it worse than it was when you took it? That's lack of faithfulness. How come when you borrow a book from your friend's library, they had to chase you around the house and send you 10 reminders before you remember to return it? You're not showing faithfulness. Faithfulness is being diligent, responsible, accountable with something that belongs to somebody else. In fact, in 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 2, 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 2, he said, "Moreover, it is required that a steward be found faithful." What does it mean? The word "moreover" there simply says, having done all, after all said and done, after everything has been put in the equation, ultimately, the steward must still be found faithful. So faithfulness is not like a substitute for another aspect or another part of your service. No. It's saying after you've done your service, after you've done your requirements, after you've met your tasks, you've delivered, you must still be found to be faithful. You must still be found to be faithful. The other word or the other phrase in that passage, he said, it is required. Now, that tells me something. As a servant, whether you know it or not, whether you agree to it or not, whether you accept it or not, this verse of the Bible is saying it is still required of you to be found faithful. What does that mean? At the back of your mind, you must always remember that you are in possession, you are a trustee, you are holding something that belongs to somebody else, and that somebody else will one day ask you to give an account for it, and you must be prepared to do that. And that is why it says it is required that a steward be found faithful. The third attribute of a good servant is that a good servant displays at all times, he demonstrates excellent attitude. Yeah, we're back to attitude again. Excellent attitude is expected. Thank you, Sheung. Excellent attitude is expected from a good servant. What is attitude? What is attitude? When you hear the word attitude, what does it connote? Attitude is a way of thinking. It's a posture of the body. It's an informal self-confidence or hostile behavior. What does that mean in a nutshell? Attitude is a mindset. A mindset that says, I will do it, or a mindset that says, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't care what you say. Whatever it is, I'm not touching it. That's a mindset. That's the attitude. But you see, in life, we face challenges. In life, we face challenges. Hi, Arun. Thank you. Harun Rashid. Thank you, sir. In life, we face challenges. But you know what? The difference between how we come out of that challenge to a large extent is determined by the attitude that we adopted while we're going through that challenge. And that's why you see two people facing the same issue, and one will come out looking like it didn't happen, and the other one will spend the rest of his or her life wallowing and pity-partying in that same issue while the other person is up and gone since. Attitude. There are a lot of things you can teach somebody. One of the things you can't teach somebody is attitude. You can't teach people attitude. And attitude is like a smoke. You can't cover it. It will pop up. It will show no matter what. Your attitude will determine your altitude. But let me add this to it. It will also determine whether you remain at that altitude or you go higher. Your attitude. Your attitude. Oh, wow. Thank you, all of you, for being part of this. I'm really, this is going well. From your comment, Chibuzo said good word. Sheung said, God bless you, sir. God bless you too. Thank you. When it comes to serving, there is so much about it. There is so much about it. And please, if you have not shared this program, go ahead and share it so that you can have a copy of it on your timeline, something you can go back to, something that you can watch again and again. And also, people, your contacts, your friends, they too will benefit from watching it on your timeline. So if you have not shared it, please go ahead and share it so that you can be a blessing. Serve somebody. Yeah, that's the thing. Serve somebody by sharing this on your timeline. Serve somebody. Quickly, let's look at the keys to maintaining good attitude. Number one, develop a servant heart. Develop a servant heart. Develop a servant heart. What do I mean? Serving is not a bad word. It's not a curse word. It doesn't make you less. I remember somebody said, no, it was Eleanor Roosevelt said, nobody can make you feel inferior without your permission. So just because you are called a servant doesn't make you less. Until you put yourself down, you are not less than anybody. So the keys to maintaining good attitude, number one, develop a servant heart. A servant heart says, I am here to serve. And because you have already determined, you have already decided, you've already agreed that you are going to serve, there is nothing anybody can put on you that will make you feel less, because you already know you are in a position to serve. It takes a real man or a real woman to lay down his or her life for the service of another. So develop a servant heart. Number two, be willing to do whatever you are asked to do. Yes, be willing to do whatever you are asked to do. You said you want to serve. You said you're a servant. You said you want to help. You said you're a steward. Then do it. Be willing to do whatever you're asked to do. The truth is this, ladies and gentlemen, God will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you can handle. If it's not in you, if God has not given you the ability, the strength to carry out that task, it won't come your way. So be willing. When you're asked to do something, just know that I've got what it takes to get this done. Be willing to do what you're asked to do. Develop a can-do attitude. an attitude that said, yes, I can do this. Even if you don't know, accept it and then go and find out how to do it. Number 3, ways of maintaining good attitude. Never lose sight of the reason behind the task. The reason behind the task is people. When you serve, or when you are serving, it's people that is at the end of the line. It's people. It's always people. It's somebody, a family, a person, a man, a woman, a child. Whatever it is you are doing to serve, it is people that is at the end of the line. So for the sake of that one person, serve. Just like Jesus did. Serve. Number 4, be grateful for your position. Be grateful for your position. Somebody asked me, how can you say, in the title of the book, how can you say it's a privilege to serve leaders? It is a privilege. It is a privilege. You know why? There are hundreds and thousands and millions of people out there that are more qualified than you to be in that position. But the goodness of God, the grace of God enable you to be the one doing it at that time. Be grateful for your position. It's a privilege. It's not a right to serve. It is a privilege. It's not a right. And lastly, the way to develop good attitude, understand authority. Understand authority. The fact that you are serving. Thank you, Adelaja. The fact that you are serving means you are under the authority of somebody. What does authority do? They give instruction, they give correction, and every now and again, they appreciate you. And the fact that you already understand that, you're fine. You are already fine. So whether they correct you, say, yes, sir. Whether they rebuke you, say, thank you. If they appreciate you, oh, glory be to God. When you have all of that, now you have developed you have with you in your arsenal the required tendencies for you to be a good servant with a good attitude. What are the benefits of serving? After all we've said, what accrues to you? What comes back to you because of serving? What are the benefits of serving? Quickly, you remember the story of Elisha? I love that guy, Elisha. No wonder my book is called Elisha Project. It's a man close to my heart. Here is Elisha served Elijah, and Elijah was long gone. The king of Israel, Jehoshaphat, was facing a seemingly insurmountable battle. And he asked, is there anybody here that can help us speak to God? And somebody said, here is Elisha, who poured water on the hands of Elijah. Now, I'm thinking, Elisha served Elijah for over 20 years. Easy. But all of that service comes down to one sentence, to one qualification. He poured water on the hands of Elijah. And on the basis of that one reference, his CV was 1 page long, and all he says is he poured water on the hands of Elijah. And on the basis of that, the king of Israel approached him to speak to God on behalf of the whole nation. Now, if that is not a reward for serving, tell me what is. When you serve with your heart, when you serve diligently, when you serve with everything you've got, God is not unjust. God is faithful. God remembers every of your seed and your service. He said to Cornelius, he said, your offering and your sacrifice, they have come up before me as a memorial. God can never forget your service. And Elisha went on to do more miracles than Elijah, his master. Even after his death, the dead bones, the dry bones of Elisha was still raising dead people back to life because he served. Number 2 benefit of serving is sowing. Serving is sowing. Annie Frank said, no one has ever become poor by giving. Serving is sowing. And you know the funny thing about sowing? The seed is always smaller than the harvest. The seed is always smaller than the harvest. So when you serve, you are sowing. And immediately you kick into action the law of seed, time, and harvest. You don't have to pray about it. You don't have to fast about it. The fact that you have served, which is a seed that you have sown, the law of seed, time, and harvest immediately is triggered. And the harvest is coming in good measure, pressed down, shaking together, and running over. That's number 2 benefit of serving. Number 2 benefit of serving is that serving is sowing. Number 3, serving is a demonstration of love. Serving is a demonstration of love. Listen to this. A guy called Rashid Ogunlaru said this. He said, some strive to make themselves great. Others help others see and find their own greatness. It is the latter who really enrich the world we live in. What is it? What was the summary of that? Serving is a demonstration of love. You can't love somebody and not lay down your life for them. You can't love somebody and not give to that person. You can't love somebody and not bless that person. Serving is love. When you put yourself out for another person's sake, you have just demonstrated the greatest sign of love. Jesus said there is no greater love than for a man to lay down his life for his friend. The next benefit of serving. Serving is a training ground. It's a training opportunity. Serving is a training opportunity. Oh, Sister Kate, thank you for joining us. Serving is a great training opportunity. Do you know why I say that? Because when you are serving, you are directly under the tutelage, under the training of a master. Now, he's giving you a platform to learn on the job, to make your mistakes in the secret and be corrected in the backyard. And then when you go out and you display your expertise that you have learned in the course of serving, people are like, whoa, look at him. He's just so good at it. No, you have paid the price on the altar of service. And that is why you can come out now and demonstrate the expertise. And because you are now an expert, you are rewarded handsomely. You are rewarded handsomely. The next benefit of serving. Serving is the best cure for selfishness. I like that. You want your selfishness to be killed. You want to be delivered from selfishness. You want to be completely set free from me, myself, and I. Serve. Somebody said, God gave you 2 hands. One belongs to you and the other to your fellow man. God has given you 2 hands. One for you and the other one to serve somebody. One for you and the other one to serve somebody. You can only serve someone by taking the focus off yourself. Selflessness, which is when you take your eyes off yourself and you put it on somebody else. That is selflessness. Selflessness adds sense of purpose and meaning to life. Selflessness teaches humility. You can't serve without being humble. You have to submit yourself. You have to strip yourself of your ego, your right, your position, your title, in order for you to serve effectively. So selflessness teaches humility. Selflessness gives satisfaction in the knowledge that you have been a blessing to somebody else. Wow. The thought of it that I'm being a blessing. Like we said when we're looking at maps, That is the successful aspect of it, because it gives you joy to know that you are serving, you are adding value, you are making somebody else's life better. Selflessness builds trust. People will only allow you to serve them to the degree to which they can trust you. Just like you will not allow somebody you don't trust, you won't give your house key to somebody while you're at work and say, this is the key to the house, go and clean the house and cook the food and look after the children. Until you are at the point where you are trusted, your service is limited. So selflessness builds trust. Selflessness encourages and challenges others to action. When people see you serving from your heart, joyfully, with all enthusiasm, your life becomes a challenge to the people who just want to sit down and do nothing. If suddenly they begin to feel uncomfortable around you, oh, here he comes again. He's going to be cleaning now. He's going to be doing this now. I better get up and do it myself too. And your life is becoming a challenge to help others. And finally, there are tangible benefits to serving. No one is useless in this world who lightens the burden of others, says Charles Dickens. When you serve, there are material gifts that accrue to you. There are material benefits that comes your way. You gain connections and contacts at the level that you wouldn't have without serving. You have access to people and to places. Thank you, Mojisola. Thank you for joining us. You have special privileges and recognition. People just say, oh, that's the guy. Oh, yes, I've seen him. Oh, yeah, that's the man. Because of your service. Because of your service. If you have not shared this program tonight, please go and share it. Please, let's share this program. Please, 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 let's share this program tonight. Gentlemen and ladies, this is the task for this week. But before I give you the task, let me remind you, for those that have just joined us, at the beginning I mentioned that in a very near future we're going to have an opportunity to have a Become a Better Man practical class, where we will all meet in one venue, date and venue to be announced. We will meet and we'll hold hands as brothers, as sisters, as whoever wish may come. We'll hold hands and pray together. We'll hold hands and believe God together. We will help one another. We will stand in the gap for one another. We'll paste our prayer requests. So start making your prayer list now. The things, I'm not talking of 10 pages, but those things that are so close to your heart, that you want God, you want somebody to believe God with you and stand with you. Start making a list of them. Because on that day when we'll meet, we'll pace the wall with all our prayers and we'll stretch our hands, we'll lay our hands, we'll pray over them and believe God together for breakthroughs, for miracles, for signs and wonders to be in our midst. I'm so looking forward to that. And the date and venue will be announced shortly. Also, there will be opportunity for questions and answers, maybe over the topics that we've covered, or on life issues generally. There'll be an opportunity. Whoa, Anesi, thank you for joining from Abuja. Thank you. Emilia, thank you. We'll have the opportunity to ask those questions. And I am so convinced there will be enough wisdom in the house to answer those questions, to tackle those issues. I'm just waiting to confirm the venue. Then we'll give out the venue, the date, and everything. But it's going to be wonderful. So please be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. Be an opportunity to review some of the things we have said. What do you mean by that? How can you say that? And this and that. We'll be able to go through all of that. At that venue. So, what's the task for tonight? For this week, rather? Simple. I know we're all very busy and everybody is running around doing this, but in the midst of our business, let's take time out. Thank you, Olarewaju Ogunaya. Thank you for joining. Oguniya. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Yes, Brad Gibson said it's going to be an awesome time in God's presence. I can't wait, brother. I can't wait. Our task for this week, I'm so excited about it already. Our task for this week is for us to, number one, gentlemen, go and serve your family. Starting even tonight, do something out of the ordinary. Surprise your wife, your children. Do something out of the ordinary. Ladies, do something that is out of the ordinary to serve your family. Show them that you love them so much, you want to serve them, you want to put your life on the line for them, you believe in them. Serve somebody. Enroll in a church service unit, or visit the local old people's home. Give your time. Just be a blessing to somebody. Deliberately go out of your way to find a stranger to help. And if you're already serving, use the materials from tonight to improve on your service. And please, once again, send your experience, how it is going, what you have encountered, how it makes you feel. Give us a feedback. The email address is theadmirals@yahoo.com. theadmirals@yahoo.com. I have a good news to share with you. I have some very, very good news to share with you. Brother Jonathan, thank you. Yeah, Olanrewaju Oguniya said inspirational words. Thank you, I appreciate you. The good news is this. I am launching a new, it's not a program. I am launching a business. And this business is called The Administrator. The Administrator. What is it about? Over the years, I've been involved in managing, in running, in administering organizations, especially churches and ministries. And now I believe the time has come for me to put to use all those knowledge, those experience that I have gained and some of our team members have gained. In fact, all our teams put together, we have over 45 years of experience of serving, of running, of managing, of administering churches and ministries. And now we've put this together under one umbrella. And we want to offer this service to churches, to ministries, to organizations, big or small, in between, whatever size. Just for us to look at your systems, your structures, and your operations and help you streamline them, help you improve on them. And maybe if you know somebody, maybe a church or a ministry from abroad who wants to have presence here in the UK, we will help them with the registration, appointment of trustees, setting up of the admin, the finance, their gifted, help them find a venue for their church, whatever it is to do with church, either starting, running, administering, managing, growing a church. The administrator is a consulting firm that will help people in this area. So if you know of anybody, if you know of any pastor, if you know of any church that will benefit or could benefit from this service, by all means, please drop me a line, give me a shout. Whatever it is, we will go and meet with them and sit down with them. The initial consultation is with no obligations. It's just to know where they are and help them. So please watch out. Hopefully tonight or tomorrow, it will go live and then you will see more about it as the time goes. Guys, it has been an honor and a wonderful time tonight. Ebenezer, thank you. Ebenezer said all churches need this awesome service. Well, thank you, sir. I believe that. Yeah, we're a project management company, sir. Why not? Definitely we are. That's who we are. God has given us, again, that's what I was saying about serving. God has given us that ability, that experience. It's now for us to use it to serve the body of Christ, to serve people, to help people go to the next level, go higher in their operation. So let's put the words out. Again, it's called The Administrator, and look out for it. It will be launched either today or tomorrow, and you will all be contacted. Thank you, guys. It's been a wonderful night. I have had a blast of a time, and I'm sure you have too. I'm sorry it's run slightly over the 1 hour mark, but hey, we've had a great time. Sorry I've eaten into your time, and I'm sorry about that. But please, go ahead and share this program with somebody. Tell somebody about this. Remember, every Thursday at 8 p.m., this program will go live. And every week we're looking at something, a new topic that is adding value, that is increasing and improving us. Because remember, there is no stopping you, there is no stopping me until we reach that destination called better man and better woman. God bless you. I love you. Please go ahead, share this message, tell somebody about the administrator. I am looking forward to hearing about your prayer points, the questions and the answers that will be tackling during the time that we'll spend together. And like I said, the date and the venue will be announced shortly. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Amanike, thank you. I was wondering, where have you been? Thank you. Until next week, again at the same time when we'll be spending this time together, I want to appreciate you. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my heart and what God has laid on my heart with you. And I believe as we do this, as we sharpen each other, there is no stopping us until we reach the top. Our destination is destination better person. God bless you. I'll see you next week. Thank you. Remember to share this program. God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye. Thank you.